Poor, poor soul. You've seen the horrors you cannot unsee, but your work is not yet done. You must rise again. Rise and show the world the forgotten wonders that time abandoned. Show them how good things once were.
How? Why? Why am I back?
I have brought you back from the afterlife because it is not yet your time. You have much work to do. You must show the world the forgotten greatness that has been buried in the past. Do not forget why you began this journey, for you will show many what they are missing. Take this and tell the world. Now go.
Hello, Gore Fiends, and welcome to Project Shadow. There was a time when parents, religious groups, and other organizations protested a certain tabletop game for corrupting their children and believing they're worshiping Satan. But that was all nonsense. Right?
What do you guys think happened?
One of the players Robbie played with got carried away and killed him.
That's kind of far out.
Mazes and Monsters is a far-out game. Swords, poison, spells, battles, maiming, killing.
Hey, it's all imagination.
Is it?
But in the early 80s, Marvel Productions, and yes, I said Marvel Productions, made a cartoon series based on this tabletop role-playing game called Dungeons & Dragons. I remember getting up on Saturday mornings and watching this going, oh my god, I can't wait for the next episode. So without further ado, I give you Dungeons & Dragons, a series. Dungeons & Dragons was a cartoon based on the role-playing game made by TSR at the time. The show ran from September 17, 1983 through December 7, 1985 for 3 seasons on CBS. Toei Productions did all the animation for the show. Toei is the company who also did the classic shows such as Voltron, One Piece, and all the Dragon Ball series. Dungeons & Dragons was focused on a group of 6 friends who are transported into a fantasy realm and are then imbued with magic weapons to aid them on their journey to find their way home, with the help of their guide, the Dungeon Master. The heroes of the story composed of 7 main characters: Hank the Ranger, voiced by Willie Ames from Charles in Charge; Eric the Cavalier, voiced by Donnie Most from Happy Days; Sheila the Thief, voiced by Katie Lee from the Muppet Babies. You might remember her as Baby Rolf. Diana the Acrobat, voiced by Tanya Gale Smith, who briefly appeared on Facts of Life. Presto the Magician, voiced by Adam Rich from 8 is Enough. Bobby the Barbarian, voiced by Ted Field III, who you might know from the Mr. T cartoons. And let's not forget Uni the Unicorn, voiced by the legendary Frank Welker from every badass cartoon you ever remember from your childhood, but you might remember him most as Megatron from Transformers.
Silence! It is imperative that cargo remains secret. Dirge, shut down the rest of your systems and remain still!
Don't you think that was a little much, all that information?
Eat a bowl of fuck! Each episode are young heroes who travel to different locations finding different adventures as they follow their quest to find a way home. The main antagonist, Venger, was a demon, magician, vampire, whatever the fuck asshole who was hunting the young teens in order to take the magical weapons so he may kill the immortal, multi-headed dragon Tiamat. Venger's one of those villains that just looks evil. I mean, with the pale white face, the sharp fangs, the horns, and the demon wings, you know, he just looks badass as hell. Yet he rides around a black horse all the time that flies around, and he doesn't utilize his own wings.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think the creators thought this through. Dungeons & Dragons ran for 3 seasons with a total of 26 episodes. The series had many cool episodes to me, like the Hall of Bones, where the heroes find their weapons no longer work, so the Dungeon Master tells them they must travel to a place called the Hall of Bones to recharge their weapons. This is where the heroes find Venger has led them into a web of Loeth, the Demon Spider Queen. Okay people, I have a big problem with this next part. Let me explain briefly. Anybody that's played D&D would know that Loeth is an evil goddess worshipped by the Drow elves. Loeth herself has the upper body of a beautiful Drow elf and the lower body of a huge spider. This is Loeth, not this.
This was made in the early 80s, so Loeb was still...
This was made in the early 80s, so, you know, technically... Fuck you. Although Dungeons & Dragons never had an official last episode, the last remaining episodes that aired focused around the storylines of the Dungeon Master and Venger. See, spoilers, Venger actually ended up being Dungeon Master's son, and they would have got into that storyline leading up to the last episode that would have been called Requiem. So, to this day, I do go back to watch Dungeons & Dragons from time to time, so I say it is worth a watch, so check it out when you can.
You have done well, but you have much more work to do. You must come with me, for there is a great event coming on the horizon, and...
Partake these nuts on your chin. I ain't going nowhere. And by the way,